Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Convection Cast. We're tracking a pretty elevated severe weather setup for Monday across the central United States, and this is a situation that needs close attention. Now, in this video, we're going to be taking down storm mode, storm timing, um, what's causing this risk, everything like that. But we are looking at a pretty serious situation, so make sure you stay all the way to the end. The Storm Prediction Center has placed a moderate risk for severe thunderstorms from central Kansas into southeast Nebraska, with surrounding areas also at risk for damaging weather. Um, if we take a look at our tornado probability, we do have a very elevated tornado threat right here, mostly around like northeastern Kansas, going into south end of Nebraska, and some into Iowa and Missouri. But our greatest risk is going to be in this SIG2 where you see the circle and the lines going right here. That'll be our greatest risk for severe thunderstorms. So if you're anywhere in Wichita, Kansas, Salina, Kansas, Manhattan, Kansas, Hutchinson, Kansas, Hutchinson, I think never mind. Hutchinson, Kansas, and Newton, Kansas. If you're anywhere in those areas, you need to be lookout for really significant EF3 plus tornadoes. Those could pretty much change lives. So if you're anywhere in the areas I just said, please stay weather aware. I might be live tomorrow. It just depends on what time I get out of school. Our wind risk is not as high, but we do still have that wind risk for whenever what just happened. We do still have that wind risk for whenever storms like go into. To understand why this setup is so dangerous, we have to take a look at the larger weather pattern. A strong mid-level storm will eject out the western United States and moved into the central plains by Monday afternoon. As you can see on our screen, we do have that big trough or 500 millibar trough in the middle of your screen. That will be pretty much causing our severe weather risk. It will be holding a lot of wind shears for storms to start spinning, which will cause our great tornado risk. As this system moves in, it will interact with a stalled frontal boundary stretching across the region. At the surface, we also have a dry line extending through parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, acting as a trigger zone from storm development. Basically, if we have any storms that form or fire off in front of this dry line, which this dry line will be causing our storms to fire off, but if we can get any discrete supercells, we do have a very larger tornado risk. One of the key ingredients for severe weather is moisture, and there will be plenty of it. Gulf moisture will surge northward into the plains, bringing dew points into the upper 60s to low 70s. When you combine that with strong daytime heating and steep lapse rates, the atmosphere becomes highly unstable. This will allow storm energy or CAPE to climb into the upper 3,000 to 4,000 joules per kilogram, which is very supportive of intense thunderstorms. When storms have this much CAPE, they can just go crazy and produce crazy things like 5-inch hail, EF4 plus tornadoes. So this is something very major to look out for. Another major concern with this setup that I am very worried about is very large hail. Strong updrafts will allow hailstones to be suspended inside storms long enough to grow into significant sizes. This could lead to hail reaching golf ball, baseball, and even the strongest storms, possibly even softball size hail. This kind of hail can cause major damage to vehicles' roofs and windows. If you're in mobile homes or RVs, softball size hail can easily pierce through the roofs of these vehicles or homes if they're traveling at really high speeds. And usually, if storms have strong updrafts that causes hail, usually they are falling over 100 miles an hour, which can easily pierce through either roofs or car roofs, anything like that. So if you're in a mobile home or living in an RV in any of these areas we've talked about today, try to get in a structured building some family that lives around you, or just be very weather aware just in case. Worst case scenario, one of these storms does go over you and drops hell right on top of you. Timing will be critical with this event. Storm initiation is expected during the afternoon hours on today. By late afternoon, supercells should begin developing in the primary risk zone. The peak tornado and hail threat is expected roughly from 5 to 9 p.m. After sunset, storms are expected to organize into a line and move eastward, shifting the main threat toward damaging winds overnight. This is a dynamic and potentially significant severe weather setup that could turn into a tornado outbreak. This will need close monitoring as we approach it today. If you live in or near the moderate risk area, make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings and stay weather aware throughout the day and evening. We'll continue to update this forecast as new data comes in. This is ConvectionCast. Thank you for watching and stay safe out there.